that the city has time to do a thorough review and respond to the findings before agreeing to anything that can become a long-term financial burden to our residents and could, in fact, actually slow down our ongoing efforts to continuously improve our police department. The consent decree in Chicago has cost their city more than $500 million. The consent decree in Seattle has cost their city more than $200 million. In New Orleans, the consent decree has cost them more than $100 million. And from what I understand, in many cases, consent decrees are in place for at least 10 years or more. In some of these cities, crime has actually increased under a consent decree. And we can't risk that here, not in the city that I love, the city that made me everything that I am. We aren't alone in wanting to pursue a smarter way to make improvements, and we firmly believe that there is a better way. We believe we can make more effective and meaningful change by working together with community input and independent national experts than we can with a bureaucratic, costly, and complicated federal government consent decree. While the review period of this DOJ report predates my tenure as mayor, make no mistake that this administration takes the DOJ findings seriously. We're going to review this report with an open mind to the recommendations. And while no police department is perfect, we have to strive to become as close as possible. Protecting the interests of this community is my top priority. And while we have much work to do, we are on the right track. As citywide crime has been down 13.5%. The Part 1 crimes and the more violent and those more serious crimes are down 19%. We've already begun implementing several changes within MPD, and we're committed to further progress. Our promise to Memphis and Memphians is that once the findings report is thoroughly reviewed, we'll work collaboratively with our community, local civil rights stakeholders, independent national experts, and the DOJ to develop an effective improvement plan that transcends what is undoubtedly a bureaucratic and costly consent decree. We're working with the team now to arrange a series of town hall meetings so that we can get community and stakeholder feedback on the DOJ's report, as well as the path we will take to ensure an even better MPD and a better Memphis. I want you all to know, and make no mistake, that we're committed to ensuring that we have a best-in-class police department that respects all citizens. To sum it up, we agree that our police department should always strive for improvement. We don't believe that the consent decree is the most effective way or efficient way to achieve the result that our community needs and deserves. We believe that by working with all of you in our community, we can faster and more effectively work toward the outcomes that we all desire. And while I haven't been able to thoroughly read the DOJ report yet, I'm happy to take your questions about our response to the DOJ request, so we can easily sign the agreement in principle towards the consent decree. So I'll stop there. I'm also going here with Chief Davis as well as our Chief Legal Officer, Davis.
The Department of Justice just said in their news conference that they can sue for an injunction to enforce the tenets of this investigation. Are you prepared to go to court in order to avoid signing the consent decree?
At this point, we're working to get through the report, thoroughly vet it, understand what is being proposed here, and take it from there.
Mayor, I know that you've said you're still viewing the report, but you've also spoken quite strongly about your concerns regarding a consent decree. Why should Memphians trust the same city and the same department that did these constitutional violations to reform itself without something like the oversight of a consent decree?
Well, Memphis is a creative community. We have people in our community that are committed to various causes, and this administration is committed to doing the things that are going to get the best results for the citizens of Memphis. And we want to pull together our own process to ensure that we are making the constant changes that are needed to protect our citizens. And we're willing to make that commitment to the residents. That's why we are looking towards holding our own series of town hall meetings and
Yes. So, our response in mine is very similar to the one. We haven't had an opportunity to really thoroughly look at the complete report. However, modifications and changes in the Memphis Police Department have been ongoing for some time now. Significant changes have been ongoing. In some of the areas that were outlined in the report, we have made significant changes aligned with the Department of Justice, getting their support and some of the training that has been ongoing, not just this year, but in previous years. We have ongoing training and policy changes as well in the Memphis Police Department. In the last 3 years, we've changed over 700 policies in the Memphis Police Department. Policies that help to direct process, help to improve officer response. Community engagement has been a significant part of the work that we're doing to ensure that we don't just go out and create various types of policies and processes, but to also have our community members engaged as well. Our community members and our clergy. We have graduated over 1,000 children. You know, some of the report talks about children, which is for me as a chief and for our department, we spend a lot of time with our children in our community. We graduated over 1,000 children from our Very Great program and work consistently to try to improve those relationships. So we're going to look through the report to ensure that we're not missing anything. We know that we have opportunities to improve every day. And so at this point, we are moving forward. We're working with our officers internally, working with the community as mayorship, to have open conversations about what this report means and how we do better the police department and Memphis.
The city has signaled a price tag as a concern for not entering into a consent decree. But at the same time, we're also hearing that the city is very willing to embrace policy changes. What's the difference in cost there? Are we just more concerned about attorney fees?
Yeah, I think it's more important for us to put the money into the initiatives that are going to produce the results that we want to see, as opposed to putting the money towards the costly bureaucratic process of monitors and all of the other things that come along with consent.
Mayor, I know you haven't looked at the report in total, but does it have anything in it that you didn't already know? I mean, we kind of knew that there were problems in terms of, police behavior, but have you found anything that you didn't know?
Yeah, again, I hadn't had a chance to really study it in depth, so I don't want to speak too much about it until I really take it on.
What affected the possibility that the incoming Trump administration would not pursue litigation for the consent decree?
We would have the same position regardless of the outcome of the presidential election.
Mayor Young, you talked about the fact that there are already some changes underway, and that Memphis needs to kind of set its own path forward. The state has been more than willing to show that it does not want Memphis to have a lot of independence when it comes to establishing policies with this department. I'm thinking about the protection of stop ordinance being rolled back specifically, and the DOJ's report talks a lot about traffic stop policies. Do you think that a federal consent decree would have helped almost supersede the state and allowed Memphis to make the changes that you want to see within the police department? And are you concerned that the city might get steamrolled by the state if it tries to institute some more police reforms?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, as mayor of the city of Memphis, we work within the context in which we live. We work within state law and federal laws, and our goal is to develop a plan of action that takes all of those things into consideration.
Mayor or Chief, I know you've said that this city and MPD have already done some of the things recommended by the DOJ. Could one of you walk us through a few examples of DOJ recommendations that have already been implemented?
Well, I don't want to speak to specific things from the report, but I can talk about some of the things that MPD has done. They've done extensive modification to disciplinary process and policies to improve disciplinary matrix. They improved supervisory oversight and accountability. They created
the city has addressed in their response a rush to judgment because of the timing of this investigation. With a heavy emphasis on discriminatory policing by the DOJ today, do you still feel as though this is a rush to judgment, or how exactly do you address that discrimination aspect specifically?
Well, again, I want to read the report in full, and before I even comment on any of the things that is there. So, we'll hold on that.
Chief, one of the things that doesn't seem to be spoken about as much is that Tennessee is an open carry state. And while it's, we hear about Second Amendment rights, in more rural parts, though that open carry law has a different effect in an urban setting like Memphis. Do you think this finding accounts for what your force is up against relative to firepower on the streets?
Absolutely, it does create a very complex situation for our officers, especially in an open carry environment. Naturally, when you have more guns on the street, you have more encounters with police officers, especially as they attempt to keep communities safe, especially communities that have a prevalence of violence. And I think all of the things that we're talking about today, including various state laws and, firearms and crime on the street, I think it all plays a part in encounters with our officers in our community. The balance is what we try to get to make sure that we have a balance that's fair and impartial and constitutional as well. So it's definitely a challenge. Memphis is an anomaly, but we're up to the challenge, and our officers have been agile, our supervisors have been agile, and we look forward to the progress that we know that we can make in the city of Memphis.
There's been a lot of discussion about how a consent decree could affect the finances of Memphis and how much it could cost. The DOJ report is very detailed and provides specific examples of how citizens in Memphis are affected by police misconduct on a daily basis. By saying they're not going to a consent decree, where do the citizens of Memphis point to for accountability and responsibility for what has happened at the police department?
Well, I think your point is based on the premise that the consent decree is the only way to get the results that we all see tonight. And our goal is to develop a process that is community-based, where we locally can agree on how we're going to get the results with all of our
Who's
citizens.
accountable?
As mayor, I'm accountable. All right.
Mayor Young, I have one question. I know you
This
said,
is the last one.
I know you said you hadn't read the report. Something that hadn't been mentioned when this investigation was announced, but was mentioned in the report and the findings, was Memphis Police Department CIT division and how it responds to mental health calls. Specifically, it referenced a lot of that other cities, they have non-police responses and also have police officers trained in crisis intervention. Are there any discussions going on within your administration to make a mental health response division that is not based out of the police department, something kind of in line with what the DOJ referenced in other cities?
Just the other day, Chief Davis and I were at Alliance Healthcare and looking at their new space and how they'll be able to partner with MPD on issues related to individuals experiencing mental health crises. So we're always looking at ways to expand opportunities to support those that have mental health issues. And I hadn't dug into the report, but certainly we always want to support those individuals that have those mental health challenges. All right, well, I want to say thank you to everybody for being here. We really appreciate it, and I'm sure there'll be more conversations to come. Thank you.
Yeah, I do. Thank you.